Atlanta Plugged In starts now.
Students are back in class, and I think we can all agree they deserve a safe, clean, and healthy ride to school. Joining us today is Emily Calandrelli, the Emmy-nominated host of Emily's Wonder Lab on Netflix. The MIT grad is here to tell us about a sustainable alternative for powering school buses. Welcome, Emily. So, how do you go from MIT to hosting a popular Netflix show for kids?
Right, so I've always loved science outreach, meaning going back into middle school classrooms and high school classrooms and talking to students about all the cool stuff that I was learning in my engineering classes in college and in grad school. And so for me, it felt like a natural transition from learning about all of the cool stuff about engineering in the classroom to doing a science television show and sharing my love of science with more people.
So what does science tell us about school bus emissions?
Yeah, this is really important. So a lot of people probably grew up like I did, going to school on a very old diesel bus. I can still remember the smell of the diesel bus exhaust. And in that exhaust, you could see this thick black smoke. You might remember that. And in that smoke are harmful emissions that are not good for the environment, but they're also not good for kids' lungs. Right? The good news here, though, is that there are better alternative solutions today for cleaner buses. So propane school buses are just a marginally higher cost, but you drastically reduce those emissions coming out the tailpipe. So for example, you can reduce nitrous oxide emissions compared to diesel by 96% with a propane school bus.
How does propane compare to electric buses?
Right, so when we think of clean vehicles, we often think of electric buses or electric vehicles. I'm an electric vehicle driver myself, and electric school buses are great. They are great. You don't have those same emissions out of the tailpipe. You don't have a tailpipe with electric school buses. But the thing to keep in mind here is that electric school buses are expensive. You can get 3 propane school buses for the cost of 1 electric bus. And that part to me is really key and crucial because I don't think you should have to live in a really wealthy school district to be able to breathe clean air. That part, I think it's like an environmental justice issue for me too.
For more information about upgrading your aging fleet of diesel school buses to propane and government funding, visit betterourbuses.com.